just want to see if I can get this audio working though.
With Bitcoin Miami Crypto Lifer, we got so much to show you today. What's up, it's Sam Price, Crypto Lifer, and we're here at Bitcoin Miami 2023. I'm with Joey Paris, my man. He's been on the channel before. He's an extraordinaire. He's changed his life. And you know, I just wanted to see him say what up and like bring you what it was like to meet all these awesome people here at Bitcoin Miami. How you feeling today, man? When did you fly in? Do you have any other plans besides coming here? Are you gonna hit the beach? Any restaurants you like? What are you gonna do, you know?
Yeah, man, so I flew in yesterday, super early in the morning. I love Miami though. We're right on the beach over here, and I went swimming in the ocean yesterday, and I'm from Puerto Rico, so you know I'm from Puerto Rico. When we were on the channel together, when we had the interview, I told you I'm in Puerto Rico, so it's not a far flight. We jumped in, and I came here yesterday. Just kind of got the lay of the land, and starting to meet more people, and it's definitely a lot more busy now, and it's really great to see.
No one here really.
Yeah, there was like nobody here yesterday, but I mean, look. This event is one of my favorite events every single year because of the amount of people and just because of everything that's going on. I mean, you got this gigantic Bitcoin behind us.
How many times have you been to Bitcoin Miami?
This is my third year, actually. Yeah, I'm like an OG. So, and what's funny is like I don't really own any Bitcoin except for like a little bit earlier today. There's a whole funny story about how I got some Bitcoin today, but no, I mean, look, I'm here to learn, honestly, and connect and network with people. And I really appreciate you stopping me and doing this because if you're out there watching, the best way to learn is by doing, right? It's the people that get out there, they show up in real life, and I really just respect people, like Mr. Lifer here, that like talks the talk and walks the walk, right? So, but no, it's been a really great beginning of the event. We got all day, the rest of today and tomorrow. But tell me about you, man. How you been? And what's it been like for you the last like 24, 48, 72 hours here in Miami?
So I flew in Tuesday morning because when I went to Consensus, I tried to cram it in 2 days. I ended up having to extend my stay, and I realized I'm bookending these from now on, And I even told my wife, I cleared it with the wife, everyone, and I said 6 days. My father also passed 2 weeks ago, and it was like, it's been tumultuous for me, and I was like, to get away from the kids, kind of clear my mind and just like relax. And so first thing I did was get off the plane, 7 in the morning. I was on that beach by like 11, by 1 in the afternoon once we got in. I love the beach. My dad loved the beach. Burnt myself already with a nice tan. My necklace fell this way. I have like a necklace tan on my chest. It's hilarious. But it's been a blessing. Also went to 2 really good restaurants. I always like to seek out like, a 4 or 5 star, some amazing restaurant. I try to have 2 or 3 unbelievable meals every time I go.
Where did you go? I'm always interested in that.
Amalia was really good.
Okay.
Komodo was interesting.
Okay.
But it was like very small portions. Pay like $100 for a skirt steak. But it was decent. It was very decent. Austin, Texas, Red Ash, unbelievable.
Okay.
Dean's Steakhouse, unbelievable.
Okay.
And the sour duck or something like I think it's called, and they have like 3 different restaurants all together. Unbelievable. I'm a foodie, and I seek out like the best food wherever we go. So that's been fun. The people have been great, and the community. I met Tom Crown. I met Crypto Face. I met Garrick Soloway. Like I wasn't a person that like doesn't go hard for the space that I didn't meet. I'm meeting you, in person. And we've already collaborated with so many of these people. Like we were on ATB together, then we did our own collaboration, and just I have so much respect for Joey and the way he conducted himself, the way he talks about positivity. He changed his mind, and everything else followed. I preach the same thing. It's all about mindset. You're stuck in a box. You're in the box for some reason. Like you can get yourself out of that box. Sometimes it's just getting outside into nature, working out, changing your settings. Coming here and seeing all these people. It's been awesome. What's your favorite? Any altcoins on the move for this week? I know you're always into the altcoins, but I just wanted to know: are you into BRC20s yet? Are you going to dive into that? I've been kind of doing a little bit of that.
Yeah, I mean, I think BRC20s. There's a huge opportunity there. I've been very adamant about a lot of different altcoins, but Pulse Chain, Pulse X, and the incentives token, as well as Hex, have been really interesting to watch. Full disclosure: I do own and hold a bunch of that, but I do that for a reason, right? Like I'm the type of person that like I talk the talk and walk the walk, as cliche as that sounds, but like in all seriousness, I talk about those projects because Hex last bull cycle outperformed virtually every single cryptocurrency. You just look at the charts, right? And this guy's the chart master, but to me it's like, if it goes up and to the right, like sounds good. And with Hex you can earn yield. I don't know, Richard Hart, people love him, hate him, but to me personally, the man speaks the truth more often than not. I've been an active, engaged learner from him and from that community, and it's been very fruitful. So if you're looking for those gems, I just made a video on those. I've talked about them multiple times, but yeah, I mean, that's kind of like, in my mind right now, that's very time sensitive to this video. It just launched a few days ago, and it's been growing nicely to say the least. And going back to the food, because I love the food. I've been to Komodo. Okay. If you don't know about Komodo in Miami, this is a little, you gotta know these little details, because before I went there, I gotta know this. Komodo has an NFT. It's the coolest thing ever. It's an NFT of a dessert. So if you buy the NFT, you go to the restaurant and they do this whole dragon egg and show and this cool thing, but you have to have the NFT. So this guy, so you can go to Komodo and you can have a completely different experience if you don't understand these little details. So
that's why they said it was a multi-verse field. That's someone was telling me.
Yeah, and honestly, I'm not sponsored by Komodo or anything. I'm just sharing my own experience with it. I made videos on it. One of the coolest desserts I've ever had. It tasted pretty fantastic as well. And I don't know, I might be going back there sooner than later as well.
Like you're gonna be there tonight.
Yeah, no, I'm not going tonight. But yeah, man, look, what about you? What are you seeing in the markets right now? What are you seeing with Bitcoin? It's been kind of choppy, up and down. People say bearish, bullish. What do you got for us?
I'm gonna ask you the question I've been asking people, and people have been asking me. 20K first or 30K first?
I mean, it's a tough question because I'm just gonna say 30K. And the reason why I'm gonna say 30K is because I feel like a lot more people are bearish right now, and I think that you wanna always try to go against the herd, right? If everyone is thinking one direction, it's probably time to start thinking oppositely. And again, that's not financial advice, but you kind of want to always be the contrarian. It's those people that are able to do that, those are the ones that get paid the most typically when it comes to investing. So when Bitcoin was at 15,000 and basically everyone was screaming at the top of their lungs that's going to 10 and that you're like a silly goose for buying it.
Start buying it up.
I mean,
exactly.
And then all of a sudden, boom, green candle, you're back at 20 before you know it. So to me, could we go a little bit lower? Sure, we can go to 25, we can go to 23. It's a possibility. But to me, even if it does, I think that we still have a little bit of time, but time is slowly running out. We went through a whole year in 2022 of really, really bearishness. This could be the recovery year, and 2024, 2025 could be the road to, the next bull. So that's what I'm thinking, but I'd love to hear what you have to say as well.
So spot on, man, so well spoken. I've been looking at the charts a lot, and I've been seeing just, there's a weekly support, 24,800 area. It's even a little lower than that daily support at 24,002. The weekly divergence I keep talking about for the last 4 months straight. I've been 95% saying that was our bottom. You don't get weekly divergence. You get it once every 5 to 6 years, and that's on multiple assets. We're talking the Dow Jones, gold, silver. Go take a long chart, study the weekly. Give yourself 2 weeks to study the weekly. You'll come to a very similar conclusion that I've come to at this point. But again, as a trader, you have to say anything is possible. I would love sub 19K, 20K. I don't think it's happening. People never get the prices that they're waiting for when it comes to Bitcoin. If you're waiting to buy Bitcoin, you're gonna be waiting for the rest of your life, you know what I mean? You got to jump in at one point and get some skin in the game. Just watch Michael Saylor talk about how it really is the institutional path for major companies to be able to create cash flow out of their balance sheet. I mean, simple idea. He was talking about how he took, 140 million. Bitcoin goes up by $1,000. That's $140 million more every single time because he has 140,000 Bitcoins, right? So something that used to be a liability, which was, all the assets combined, and because they could go up and down with inflation, now is becoming actually a part of his business cycle that he can reinvest maybe back into the company years later if he'd like to sell for a capital gain, and or if he just, he's probably going to hold. Talking about how there's going to be more and more, there's more technology being built on Bitcoin than ever. Yeah. Even here, this guy had a side chain. He's saying it's going to kill all the altcoins. I believe Bitcoin will be able to show people that it can layer. Right now we have STX and Alex Labs. That's something I'm looking at closely. I bought Alex 2 months ago, but it's starting to beef up. That's a DEX, everyone, if you didn't know, for BRC20s. They have a coin called B20. Okay. I mean, that's like buying BNB.
Love it.
And so I feel like B20 has to at least make some type of movement. That's a coin I like Caspa, and I like Casper, which, not to get confused, one has an ER, one has an A. Casper also just swing trading. I like the tech, but swing trading alone, it's in the 618. It's been in its no bull run for the last 4 months. You can see it just you know, and it keeps retracing. Right now it's right in that golden pocket, looks really poised. I got into Pulse Chain, I sacrificed, you know, I was always in between on Hex. And we know where they say you could get Hex with your Bitcoin?
Yep.
And I had Bitcoins and I wanted to do it, but I was like, and I would have had free Hex, and some people made a lot of money off just doing that alone. I was skeptical, I didn't do it. You know, some people close to me were like, it's a scam. I never decided whether it was a scam or not. I've listened to Richard Hart. Yeah, he can seem like a megalomaniac a little bit. He can seem a little, but at the same time, like you said, like he had already built another, $140 million company before he had done this. He's shown he's a successful businessman. He did call the bottom or the top of Bitcoin a few times. He called lows of Bitcoin. He understands. He did call for 10K too, but you know, when I listen to him talk, I get a sense that he knows what he's talking about. He's not a scam artist. So I bought $1,200 worth of Hex, swing traded it to 1,800. You know, it was a good trade, and then I just sacrificed the 1,800. I'm sitting on the PL. I don't really know like when the good time to buy Pulse Chain is.
I mean, you've already doubled your money on it, if not more. So with Pulse Chain, right now at the time of this recording, it's doubled since the sacrifice phase. Plus, you probably got some sort of a little bit of a bonus, so you're in the green. And I think like, not to like steal it away from you here, but it's a very important point to talk about.
Tell me.
Yeah. I mean, look, timing is everything in crypto, right? So you have to really pay attention to. You could have bought Bitcoin, and I think we'd all agree that Bitcoin's fantastic. You bought it at 70,000 though, you're in the red, big time. Yeah, that's just the wrong time,
it's like
right?
Real estate. Like, real estate's great to buy, but like not on the top. You know what I mean? You buy too much real estate at the top, and you know what I mean? Like, you can't get out of that. You have to wait years and years to get that return back.
For sure, and like, I mean, the same thing could be said with Bitcoin. Like, look, could it hit 100,000? Could it hit 250? Yeah, I think eventually it's going to get there. It might take 5, 10, 15 years from now. So timing is important, especially with these altcoins. Unfortunately, a lot of them just will not make it, right? They're like new startup companies, and if you don't understand, like 9 out of every 10 businesses fail. You know, like, we're entrepreneurs. Like, my first business failed, went to zero.
Well, I failed like 5 or 6 in a row until I hit.
That's what I mean. So if you don't understand that about what you're investing in, well, you'll learn pretty quickly when your money goes to zero a few times. Like, I know it has for me, but that didn't discourage me to go, oh, I'm going to quit and give up on this. It encouraged me to go, all right, hey, look, what did I learn here? And then how do I actually capture the 5x, 10x, 50x, 100x's? And yeah, I mean, there's a whole system and formula and everything that, you know, it's worked for me personally. But yeah, I mean, look, I know this has gone a little bit longer, and it's been fantastic. But anything else you want to wrap up with?
You're the content king, Joey. This has been awesome. I thought I was going to get a few little bit like sound bites, and we gave you guys really like a whole deep dive into kind of what's going on in the markets, little Bitcoin talk. And also, like, I consider Joey a mentor. You know, all the people that I reach out to that have done things I haven't, and that have, you know, he's been, you did like a teaching business, or like way before this. Like, he already knew how to make money online. Dude was on point. So I want you to understand him and get to know his channel. And yeah, tell the lifers where they can find you. That's the last thing. And just, yeah, keep meeting people. When you get out there, like he said, you meet people. When you go outside and you fall down, you learn how to get back up, right? But if you sit in a chair and don't go anywhere, you'll never know how to use your legs. And that's like a metaphor for everything in life. Your brain, your body, your mind. Stay inspired. Feel uncomfortable. Go places you're not supposed, you know, you may not want to be there, but go there anyway. Get outside, go do it. Meet people, interview people. You're going to learn so much and you're going to be blessed. Where can they find you, Joey? And thank you so much for having this awesome interview with me, man.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Honestly, everything is just at my socials, man, at Joe Paris. Like, literally just at JoeParys. No spaces, no underline, you know, any of that. So that's all consistent across all the social media, so like, don't get confused with it. And I'm just grateful, man. Honestly, like, this guy, you know, you look at people in your life that come out of nowhere, and we just instantly kind of hit it off. I don't know how else to explain that, but you know, it's just kind of like, and here we are, you know what I mean? So it's really cool, man. I really appreciate this. And yeah, I mean, if there's anything else that anyone ever needs, just feel free to reach out, and thanks again for everything.
This is my buddy here from Sin City Crypto. This dude's a sommelier. So, so he knows food. Like, he worked for Gordon Ramsay for years. Yeah. He knows food. So we always, like, he tells me the place to go and brings me to like the restaurants that are awesome. This is Rob from Sin City Crypto. What up, Rob?
What's going on?
Hola!
Hola!